I just want to give the preference to all the toppers out there. I'm supposed to get this crazy storm. They say gorilla-sized hail, which means just huge hail and tornado watch and everything. So if I just go dead silent, hopefully I'll be able to join back on with my phone or something. Yeah, but if I just drop out, you guys will know why.
He got Harambe'd from the sky.
All right, what is the perfect sleeping condition for you? Like, what is, if a perfect world, if you did everything you needed to do, what's the perfect sleeping condition? I'm going to say, well, first off, a super hot shower. I love lavender. So, like, maybe like a lavender soap or a candle of some sort. I'm going to go for a big, nice robe. And then it has to be as cold as my wife will let me.
Amen.
As cold as
my man.
I would love it as freezing as possible. And then, in a perfect world, I would love my back rubbed. And I think I'm out like a light.
I like it. So, I don't know if I said this on the pod or not. My dad, to this day, but at some point, I think around 8th grade, 9th grade, started heating our house in the winter by wood burning stove. And that MFer got so hot. So, like, you come to our house in the winter, you want to be wearing shorts and a t-shirt because it's sweltering everywhere in the house. And so I too like it cold. And so, like, we're talking middle of January, he's blasting this wood burning furnace. I got my window cracked and like a towel under the door trying to keep the heat out. So yeah, cold. Literally, I want to be able to see my breath kind of cold. I don't care about a shower or scents or anything like that. That's not something I usually notice or think about. As long as it's a neutral scent, I'm good. Or like no scent, And then just the biggest, thickest comfort I can get my hands on. And then I just, that's pretty much all I care about. And then, I'll probably sleep naked.
I am not a big fan of sleeping naked.
I don't know. Whenever I'm wearing clothes, I just feel like they're moving. Like, I don't like the way they feel. I feel like they bunch when they like come in contact with the blanket. It makes me just like, I'm just like, I don't like it touching me. I don't know what it is.
You're just pooping in your bed every time you sleep naked, though.
Every no wipes a risk.
Maybe, but this is the ideal living condition. I'm just snapping my fingers every day, and it's all stuff. So
that's a good point.
Mine would definitely be just being able to fall asleep naturally, but since that isn't a possibility, I'm gonna have to say, I like you three. As I said, amen. I like it cool. I found at 70 degrees, I will not be able to sleep. I'll be tossing and turning all night, so it has to be 69 degrees or lower.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm team underwear when I go to sleep. Sometimes I'll sleep naked. I remember there was this one website claiming there's health benefits to sleeping naked. I don't know if that's any true, but every now and again I'll do some free balling. Yeah, just cuddled up. I use a comforter. I know Mike, I was surprised you said comforter because I thought you were on team top sheet, when we talked about hills will die on.
I am, unless I can get it like under 50 degrees.
Oh, 50 degrees. Yeah. Okay, that's a little frigid.
Yeah, like see your breath cold.
Yeah, he's not lying.
Yeah, no cap.
Like, I want it to hurt when you get out of bed and touch the floor.
I'd do like 60, 61 to, 69 would be my threshold. And yeah, just a nice cozy bed. Do you guys ever use like music or anything like that? I know my wife, when I don't come into, like if I'm staying up on a weekend playing video games, she'll like put on Rainfall or whatever. You guys listen to any music or anything like that in the background?
I can't
fall asleep to music, but I'll put on a Harry Potter audiobook on with like a 45-minute sleep timer. That'll knock me out. And lately I've been falling asleep to David Suchet. I don't know. It's a Belgian name that sounds French. He played Inspector Poirot in the old Agatha Christie movies. Anyway, I've been listening to his narration of the NIV, and so I'll turn on the Psalms and gone.
Gets you right to bed.
I can't listen to anything. I seem to get nightmares when
Really?
My wife was listening to Pride and Prejudice, and I thought a spider was going to eat my face. I don't know. It's too much.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Top Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Rob, and joined with me are my friends Lou.
Hola, amigos and amigas.
And Mike.
Shalom.
If you guys have any icebreaker questions for us, leave us in our Discord. You can comment on YouTube or add us on Twitter and Instagram, whatever. You can find us on all those platforms. But Lou, what is the topic for this week's show?
We're doing top 5 fictional characters that you would let watch your child.
Lou, why don't you hit us with your number 5?
All right, my number 5 is very male forward, so I'm gonna try to fit the genders in the middle. That sounds weird. Have I ever podcast before? I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with Wally as my number 5.
Interesting.
Ooh,
Yep,
I hadn't thought
yep.
of that one.
Yep, I'm gonna go with Wally. 2008. So there's 2 things that I love about Wally very much: is his curiosity and his loyalty. And those 2 things I think would be great for my child. I think it'd be super fun to just put Wally out there and just start picking up daisies and like showing my kid. And I think my kid would be awesome. And then they would do like technology stuff. And I just see my kid riding on Wally's head and he's going zip, 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 zip.
But would you find I've only seen clips of the movie or part of the movie. Would you, in your case, is Wally coming to you? Because the way I took my list, and it doesn't matter, is I'm dropping it off like where they're situated. So would he be on the trash earth or the spaceship?
So spoilers, at the end of the movie, they repopulate Earth.
I told you, didn't make it that far.
Yeah. But no, I would not put my child in a.
I was going to say.
No, I wouldn't do that. Maybe up in the ship. I think maybe fun for Wally as well, with Wally and the rest of those crazy. What do you call those machines?
Humans,
but
robots,
generally,
AI.
yeah, AI, whatever. I think that'd be good. Yeah, but generally, Wally would probably come to me. I thought like we would take the fictional character out of its world and bring it in.
Okay,
our
I mean that's just how you're doing.
My list just started falling apart by Rob's
Yeah.
context. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, so I just pretend like me and my wife are going to get dinner and
They're babysitting for the
Okay.
night.
they're babysitting.
My list is a little different, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll go into it because I'm next. Unless you guys have anything else. I mean, like I said, I haven't seen Wally, so I don't have too much to add there. But Mike, do you got anything with Wally?
It's been a long time since I've seen Wally. I really have.
I will say I wanted a non-human pick and couldn't think of one, so I'm props to you for thinking of one.
You only have, dude. I have 2.
One, I guess one you could kind of throw in there as non-human, but it's like a side. It's not the main person I'd be leaving my kid with. So for my list, I asked what the age range was. No one really answered me back, so I'm guessing like the kids are from like 8 to 12 or younger. Definitely younger than 12.
I mean, with Joe.
Yeah, you have your own kids, so that's different. And then I thought for the fun of it, first I'd be dropping them off somewhere, and it's like me and my wife are going on like a week or 2 vacation. Because for me, like if they're only watching the kid for 3 or 4 hours, that's not. Then a lot of people can do that. But like, who's going to protect them in that world? Keep them safe, look over them. So that's kind of how I went about my list. Is like, what can I do for a long, more extended period of time? Because again, I just thought
I'm actually okay with that. Again, I can. My list is recovered. Please.
So my first one I thought of. I don't know this character as well as my wife, so I asked my wife kind of to write why this person's a good thing. But I'd go with Belle from Beauty and the Beast. My wife said responsible, resourceful, kind, and intelligence. And especially if it's like post Beauty and the Beast, then the kid has a whole castle to walk around, has the Beast, so it's kind of the non-human I was talking about, the half, and he kind of learned that, the Beast looks a little different, but he's still like a good guy. Like you shouldn't discount him for his looks and looking different. And I feel like she'd be a very good caretaker and just, teach him how to read and everything. And plus, that castle would be heckin' fun for a kid.
That's a great pick. I didn't even consider any of the Disney princesses. That's brilliant.
Mike, what's your number 5?
I got the Last Airbender himself, Avatar Aang.
Really?
And I'll take 12-year-old Aang in my world, or even better yet, in his world. He can break stuff in his house. That's totally fine. But you even see Aang with kids, and he's great with kids.
No, he's a terrible father. Have you watched Korra? Awful.
I didn't say he was going to raise my child. I said he's going to watch her for the night.
I think a bad dad and a bad babysitter, I think 2 different things, personally.
Yeah. Also, 12-year-old Aang versus adult Aang.
12-year-old Aang has a lot more war going
great
on.
with kids in the show. And we don't talk about Korra. They ruined that show. He's fun. He's energetic. He's my number 5. I've realized my philosophy has started to change towards my top 5. I no longer really kind of pick who I think the 5 best are. I almost go, this person's worthy of a 5 slot. Mm-hmm. And then I pick from the pool of 5s and the 4s and the 3s and the 2s and the 1s, Yeah. So like my there's way better picks than Aang, but I think Aang is worthy of a bottom pick.
I'll take that.
Especially if you came to this world.
No, yeah. But he's a peaceful monk. He's kind, and I think he could keep Joe safe for a day. And I think those two would get into so much trouble together and have so much fun, but they'd get out alive.
It's true. Joe might fall to her death, but he would save her at the very end.
I think if he definitely had Appa with him, I think you guys would have a blast.
Yeah, it'd be good. They do just fine together.
I should say I kept myself to one character per like universe. I don't know if you guys did that, but there's definitely one.
The unwritten.
There's one Avatar character that I just figured you guys would both have, so I'm kind of surprised you didn't go with that character, Mike. I'll be shocked.
I got a lot of female characters on this list, so I wanted to have a couple dudes too.
I had
toyed with the idea of having a bear on there, but it felt too on the nose.
Brother Bear?
That's what I was thinking.
It's
Halson?
No, it's a new or recent social media trend where you ask a woman, "Would you rather be alone in the woods with a random bear or a random man?"
Yes, I forgot about that.
But we're better than social media trends. That's why we have 34 followers, and that is blowing up like nobody's business.
Hey, we have 36 subscribers on YouTube.
Hey.
Also, we're about to pass the 2,000 listener mark, so watch out, world.
Nice.
Coming for you.
2,000, 2 million? About the same.
Yeah, about the same. Shout out to all of our Belgium listeners. You guys are the international top nation again. So back on top.
Back on top.
Back on top.
I can start eating Belgian waffles again. Finally.
We're really liking the Singapore
cuisine of the top country. Well, I just don't have a palate for spice of any kind, so
salt's a little crazy for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Lou, what's your number 4?
All right, my number 4 is let's see if you guys can guess this. My number 4 is a former college football All-American kick returner, a Vietnam veteran, a Medal of Honor recipient, a champion international ping pong player, a businessman. Yes, Forrest Gump.
Oh, nice.
Yep, I think Forrest Gump would do a great job. And, I mean, if you ever seen Forrest Gump, right at that end, if you did not cry at the end of that movie, because how kind he was to his child, then you have no soul. And
well, checks out.
Man, I was 12.
Math checks out.
I can't do it to you.
No soul and didn't cry.
I cry now.
It's yeah. If you know me, when I'm sick, Forrest Gump is the movie that I'm trying to watch.
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's just I love it. I can't get enough of it.
It's okay.
He's one of my favorite. I don't think he's a well-written character per se. I think there's a lot going on with him, but I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Has anyone read the book?
I have not.
Right?
I have not. I didn't know it was a book.
I heard it's very different, or at least some characters,
interesting.
like Jenny.
I'm just curious. I definitely haven't read it.
Okay.
But
I mean, yeah, as long as he doesn't try to run with the kid for, a whole evening.
No, I think they would just like pick flowers and
sit on a bench and
eat a box of chocolates.
Eat a box of chocolate. Yeah, eat a box of chocolates. Do some ping ponging. I would love to see my kid learn how to ping pong. That'd be fun. I think he would just do whatever my kid wanted to do, and they would have a great time doing it.
Probably accurate.
All right. Oh, my number 4. Now, before you say anything, Lou, you got to hear me out. Also, don't.
Is this another Disney character?
Slop. No, it's not. It's not. It's not a Disney character. Also, don't spoil it, because I'm trying to get Becca to read these books. But I'm going to go with Ned Stark from Game of Thrones. As long as he's in Winterfell. Because first of all, if you give Ned your kid, and he's like, yeah, I'll watch over him, you know for a fact that man's going to not let any harm come to that child. He's going to teach him a lot of life lessons on, honor and duty and, being a good person. And you're going to see a lot of cool things, be able to go in, again, another castle. I mean, obviously, if it's not the end of the world or, the end of Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire, he's going to be safe. And he's a really good dude. Probably one of the best dudes in Westeros. In Westeros, that's not really the best thing to do, but our best thing to be. But I just think he's going to be safe playing in Winterfell. And you can see some beautiful scenery and things like that.
The dad, right? Is that what you're saying?
Sean Bean, yes.
Okay. I think all of his kids have some mental illness going on. So I don't know. Not sure. But I mean, I guess we are saying.
I guess, yeah. Are you saying that because some person's crippled, he has a mental illness? Wow, Lou.
No. And that also didn't happen. I mean, that happened. Sorry. I don't think you should be poking his head at things that he should. I mean, if you hear something going in the tower, maybe don't check it out. I don't know. But
stupidity is not a mental illness. It's a disease. That's the difference.
I mean, I wouldn't say his kids have mental disorders, but I mean, to each their own.
I mean, they're all kind of messed up, are they not?
Yeah, because of the events that happened in the book. I'm going, pre-book.
You're going pre-book?
'Cause that's when he'd be in Winterfell.
All I'm saying is that there are I can count two better options.
In Game of Thrones?
In Game of Thrones.
You got them on your list?
I got them, and honest to God, I have them on my list, yes.
Okay.
Oh. Interesting then.
We'll see. I try to think about the characters, but I'm like, no, that's a terrible person, that's a terrible person. The they're gonna use him in a child sacrifice, so I was just trying to pick a safe pick here.
They're gonna feed him to the dragon.
All right. That'll be my next pick.
All right.
So I can just throw it in your face.
All right. Mike, what is your number 4?
He's not a safe lion.
Nope. I'm good. If this is who I think, I'm gonna kick back.
Aslan.
Nope, doesn't count. If you say Aslan, then you're saying Jesus is fictional, because it is in the world that is the Jesus in this universe. Are you saying Jesus is fictional?
The only way Aslan is not fictional is if you believe that Narnia is real. You and your mother-in-law can take a hike. You're both wrong.
And my wife, too, because I'm going to shoot you straight. I thought the same thing, because I had trouble with this list. So I'm like, maybe Aslan would be a safe choice. But no, I mean, that's
He's
just
a fictional character. It's not Aslan's fault. He's a representation of Christ within the world of Narnia, which is also fictional. That's crazy. It'd be like, can you not pick Gandalf?
Gandalf isn't Jesus. He's not meant to be Jesus.
No, but he's an angel.
The thing is, C.S. Lewis, isn't there so I'm going off what my wife says. Isn't there a line where it basically, for the most part, says that like he's Jesus in the other world, and like he just in Narnia he takes on this form?
Ooh.
Even if that's true in the book, that's not how it works in real life.
Wait, time out. Are you saying Jesus couldn't be Aslan?
Nope, I'm saying he isn't Aslan.
Are you sure about that? Have you asked him?
Who is this for?
Oh no, dude, my mom, Rob's mother-in-law is eating this up.
For two audiences out there.
So take a hike isn't really a. Also, I bet you Arn is enjoying it. Shout out Arn. I bet you Ben is enjoying it. Shout out Ben. I bet you Jacob and Andrew's brother is enjoying it. Shout out Jacob and Andrew's brother.
He has a name, but we don't care about
that.
I don't know if you saw the comment.
Oh, dude, he showed up to Bible study yesterday like, that was offensive, man.
I haven't read all of Narnia. It's on my list after Cosmere, so I'll get back to you on this one. But when I asked Becca, because again, I was going to put him on my list, that was what we came to as an end. Like, okay, I'm not going to say Jesus is fictional on the podcast. Or Jesus outside the podcast.
Aslan isn't actually Jesus. He's a metaphor.
I mean, yeah, I'd leave my kids with Jesus. I'll say it.
I would too, but he's not Jesus, and that's why he's number 4.
Are we sure that Jesus is called the Lion of Judah, and are we sure that that's just not their word for the Lion of Judah? Are we positive? Have we asked the Narnians? Almost positive. I'm just trying to fill out some content because I feel like we're going fast.
If C.S. Lewis picked, I wouldn't be surprised if C.S. Lewis picked the lion for that reason. But no, I think the idea that you can't pick Aslan because it's calling Jesus fictional is crazy.
Yeah, the Lamb, the Witch, and the Wardrobe doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
He is voiced by Liam Neeson, so that's something. So if they get stolen, that and they get real.
The one person
that somehow you take the kid away from Aslan, he's got a special set of skills.
He's the one character that can't take a lightsaber to the gut.
That's true.
Made him into a donut.
Well, Lou, let's hear this Game of Thrones character that I'm going to be thinking I'm wrong with.
I think this is like, if you watch Game of Thrones and you don't choose Samuel Tarly or Tally, he is... Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, there's much better Sams. I would give him the freaking mud pie before I gave him the Samuel Tarly.
That's crazy. You mean hot pie?
I don't care, something like that. That's how much I care about him.
That was my second option.
Okay.
Was hot pie.
All right. Sorry if I just took your list there.
No, I mean, it was either those two. It was either hot pie or Samuel Tarly. Like, one would teach him how to bake and the other one would teach him how to do medicine. Like, how is that not the right choices?
Reading the books, he is not as competent with children as other characters.
Which one, hot pie?
No, Sam.
Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I don't agree with the women that he dates, but I mean,
You don't like
I
Jilly?
mean, I'm not a huge. Is that like a uncommon belief? I don't know anything about the Game of Thrones community.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talk about. I mean, everyone's just talking about Winds of Winter is coming out soon. That's gotten blown up again, but I haven't heard anyone comment on whether they like Jilly or not.
Yeah, not a huge fan. But I mean, to each his own. But yeah, I think Hot Pie or Sam, I think would be both great options versus a dad who was, I don't know. I think he lost his head on some decisions, but
the most honorable man in the world.
in the world, I don't know.
In that world.
I think a lot of things. I mean,
You said it. In the world, he's not fictional.
so I mean, either of those two are my pick.
Yeah.
I'm choosing A/B.
It's not a bad pick for like Westeros. I don't think, especially like because Westeros is such a violent world. So yeah, in your list when he's coming to you, yeah, that's not a bad pick. But like if I'm dropping my kid off in Westeros on the Drogon Express, I'd want to give him with someone that has like protection, castle walls, and things like that. But it's not a bad pick. It's just,
what's the chances that your character would actually would like keep an eye out on your kid?
I'd be like,
He has
here's
so
a
much to
gun.
do.
Here's a gun. Protect this kid. And he like, I'll deal with my life. I don't know. This is all hypothetical. Can White Walkers beat guns? We don't know.
Just rewriting the last season of that.
There we
For
go.
your kid.
This is what I.
You just
George,
use your
step
kid.
over. I got book 6 for you.
We don't need dragons. We got nukes.
So my number 3 is another Sam, but I think is the definitive answer, at least for this world, of who you should pick. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the definitive answer. I'll say that one, and it is Samwise Gamgee. And I don't think. Shut up, Google. Google did not understand. I think he's obviously one of the most loyal, one of the most good-hearted people in all of fiction. First off, my kid would be an adult-sized in the Shire, so they'd probably have a lot of fun with that, just running around, being like, yeah, I'm probably even bigger than the adults. Shire, the halflings aren't very big, and I think Sam would do well at putting up with funny business, but then like if it's getting too much, he'd be able to nicely quell any problems that come up. And he's just a genuine nice dude. He can teach them like farming and gardening and different things. And I just think he'd be one of the best people in the best person in Lord of the Rings to watch over your kid, especially post Lord of the Rings.
That's fair. I talked to a lot of people just for fun because I made this list like instantly when Lou brought it up.
I finished it last night.
But one of the suggestions I heard a lot though was Elrond, that he was actually a pretty good.
Isn't that the bad guy?
No, that's Sauron.
No, that's Saruman. Elrond is
the wise. That's Agent
Agent
Smith.
Agent Smith, yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But in the books, apparently he was a pretty good foster parent to Aragorn, so not a bad pick either. Galadriel seems like a solid choice. I seriously considered Arwen.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, Ewan would be a solid pick too. There's a lot of really good people in Lord of the Rings.
I just felt like with the elves, they wouldn't understand like because like a week for them, they'd probably just like forget about them, and go read for a week and not realize a week has passed and things like that. So I wanted someone that's like a more human touch.
We threw some lambas bread in her crib. What's wrong with
that?
Yeah.
Now she gained 15 pounds over the 1 week. Actually gets a bottle of elven wine. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't have a kid anymore.
I have nothing to say about.
This is how I felt when you guys were talking about Game of Thrones. Yeah. I was like, I got no idea.
I got it. I do say though, I watched the first 2 books, and he kind of seems like a simp. I don't know.
A simp for Frodo?
Mr. Frodo. Yeah, Mr. Frodo.
Oh,
Mr. Frodo.
Are you on the Frodo and Sam ship train?
Well, it just
more
seems
popular.
like it. I didn't know that Frodo was like way older than Sam.
Yeah.
So that kind of like that made a little more sense.
Yeah, the movie definitely missed that.
All 4 hobbits are around the same age in the movie, but yeah, it's a wide range in the books. He's also a good cook. Sam's a great cook. He can make potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Wasn't deceived by Gollum when he was playing all nice, Spoilers, Lou. Sorry, you haven't watched the third book. Haven't watched the third movie.
It did. That was kind of a spoiler for me.
That one's on me.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
We'll have to fly you out. I do a marathon. We watch all 3 extended editions in one day and cook 7 Hobbit meals. We'll have to fly you out for that, you and Christian.
Oh,
in September.
I was like, that sounds awful, but 7 Hobbit meals sounds okay.
It is.
Doing all that cooking sounds fun.
I did not want to do supper or whatever the last one is.
The last one you were like,
I was tapped out at like tea time. It's like the third meal of the day. I'm just like, all right, guys, that's enough.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good point. Like I've been doing this 2 meal a day thing and really liking it. I can't imagine trying to have 7 meals. That sounds like I would die.
And we tried to make them like light meals. I think we turned supper into like dessert. So we just and we had people bring in different meals. So my wife and I don't cook at all. But yeah, it's a real fun time. Bunch of nerds just nerding out.
That sounds fun.
Mike, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Kala from Tarzan. No? Okay.
Is that the
Kala,
ape?
That's the ape that saves and raises Tarzan as one of her own. And I think she is one of the kindest and most sweetest, caring parents you're ever gonna meet. It's a beautiful story. It's really like subtextual. If you're watching it as a kid, you'll totally miss it. But like, she lost her own kid and she finds Tarzan and it's like, I'm gonna save this kid whose parents were killed by the same leopard that killed my kid. It's gorgeous. Love that story. And then just like the interactions they have are so beautiful. Even when he's an adult, you know, like he'll do something right and like look to his mom and just like smile and just like, I'd let that ape raise my kid.
At first I thought you meant Tonk.
Yeah, Tonk.
No.
And I was like, I don't know about that one. No, not the elephant. What's the smaller?
Yeah, it's the smaller one.
Rosie O'Donnell.
I don't think that was her name in the movie, but
no, but that's the actress who voiced her. So
yes. But yeah, I thought. But now that you meant the mom, I'm totally for it. Yeah, it's a good choice. Good pick.
Not a ton to say about it. It just seemed like a kind of no-brainer.
Just a good mom, and she's strong as hell too. So
right, she'll keep your kid safe. Especially if she, my one concern is if she's come to my house to babysit. I'm like, ugh.
Take your kid to the jungle.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. Is it's like neither of those are great. I guess I can trust her to keep my kid safe in the jungle because she did it for Tarzan. But I've seen what apes can do to the British settlement in the jungle, and I don't need to come home to know boop bop she doos. Though that song's a banger. Tarzan's a really good movie, guys. I watched it with Joe not that long ago, and I was like, wow, this is way better than.
Yeah, my wife has the Tarzan soundtrack. Phil Collins.
Oh, dude, Phil Collins is a beast. I love me some Phil Collins.
Do you have that one song?
He's got a few good ones. Land of Confusion is one of my favorites. Really like Land of Confusion. Okay, maybe I don't love Phil Collins, but I really enjoyed Phil Collins for like a couple months and would go back and listen to the little playlist I curated from him.
Eminem, references that one song in Stan. It's coming in there tonight. I actually know the song. I was just trying to see if I could get anyone to bite.
That song, kind of overrated.
Oh. Eminem just did it for me as a middle schooler. I needed somebody like Eminem.
Coming in the air tonight, not Stan.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Stan's an odd song to be like, yeah, man, thanks. That hit me. Yeah. That's a choice.
Was that not impactful for you? It was how he wrote it, not necessarily the content.
Well, yeah. So I was very late to the Eminem train, so I was already in college, my second round of college. It's a good song, but I wouldn't say it's his best. I know he thinks it's his best.
That's crazy.
Lou, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is, I think, an odd choice, but I really like the idea of it. It's gonna be Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z.
It's green guy.
It's the green guy.
Thank you.
Everybody thinks he's a black guy. I have no idea why I'm saying this, but I just want to put that out there. I also believe it. In the anime, he helped raise Gohan when Goku was dead. And I don't think he did a terrible job, honestly. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I would love, if my kid wanted to just train. If they wanted to, if they were like 13 years old and they wanted to learn how to train and how to get strong and how to fly, that's the best way to do it. There's humans in that world that have no superpowers, but they teach them how to get strong, and I think that's awesome. So, but I think if my kid didn't want to train, Piccolo would be perfectly fine with it. I don't think he would put a lot of effort towards her or them, but I think he would make sure that the kid is not dead. So,
I was gonna say the thing is, like, he can train a Saiyan kid. I don't know how we do it. Like, if any humans tried to train with Piccolo, I don't know how they might end up like Yamcha, you know?
Yeah. So Piccolo trained Gohan, and then Gohan trained his wife, and his wife was a human. So I'm hoping I'm hoping.
I think Gohan's a little more tender, but I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try thinking of a DBZ character.
So I'm picking Piccolo.
Definitely a better pick than Goku or Vegeta, that's for sure.
Oh, easily. I thought about Goku, but I don't think
No, he's a terrible parent.
He is a terrible parent. He's a terrible parent, and I don't think if once he finds out my kid isn't strong, I don't think he's just not gonna care.
No.
So.
He's like, yeah, I took your kid into the ×10 gravity chamber. Here's his remains. I'm like, we'll do some light workout. Bam.
Yeah, he would cry. I think he would, and then I think he would find the Dragon Balls, and hopefully
wish your kid to be a super strong so you could train with him.
Oh, could you?
It's like that kid, the Hercules kid, that went viral a while back, a long time ago.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like when you get back.
Yeah. So I'm picking Piccolo. Sorry, Mike.
No, I'm still just humming the song from Tarzan. It's all good.
Okay.
That one song they use all the time.
Oh
no, that one's a bop.
Shoo bop shoo.
Oh gosh, you just got that song stuck in my wife's head, and she's gonna have it for 3 weeks.
You're welcome, Becca. I really enjoy how, because we're a couple weeks ahead, I'll just get texts from people and be like, what is the context? Oh, they're listening to this episode. Okay.
Yeah, I just got Andrew's text about Gringo. Oh, you're in there, but yeah, we got a text about the Harry Potter.
They're not following antitrust legislation. Yeah, that was good.
You guys are going to know nothing about who it is for my number 2, but I'm going to go with Tam Althor for the Wheel of Time series. He comes
Good
off
choice.
as Thank you. He comes off as a simple farmer, but is one of the best fighters in the Randlands. Even when people come close to trying to kill him, he's still like, if you have a relationship with him, he won't just like kill you. He'll try to show you love and compassion and calm you down from like you're on the brink and you're about to do some stuff you don't. I don't want to say too much because it's spoilers, but he's a very loving and caring guy. He loves some people close to him that like basically go insane, and he's still like caring for them and everything. And he's super, just loving, caring, great father. And I think he could teach my kids or kids, whatever, kids. He could teach them some basic farm stuff, which is not a bad thing to know. Basic farm, he's a shepherd and tending flocks and everything. And then he can also teach them like some awesome sword combat. He's one of the best fighters in the world. Or bow. He's also a great archer. So I'm going to go with Tam Althor, especially before or after the events of Wheel of Time, probably after. And it's all peace in the Two Rivers. And it's basically like their version of the Shire. So
I'll take your word for it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Arn, do you think Tam Althor is the pick for Wheel of Time? Let us know in the comments. Mike, what's your number 2?
All right, Bazovies. If Jody hasn't gotten around to watching Alien yet or Aliens, you're gonna want to skip ahead. But my pick is Ripley, specifically Ripley from Aliens.
Okay. I
mean,
yes.
She's Ripley from the first movie. Fine, whatever. Ripley from Aliens is, I think, one of the greatest maternal characters in all of cinema. I don't know what her mental state is going to be like when she returns, and I would prefer her to watch at my house than drop Joe off at the alien home planet. But either way, I know Ripley's getting that kid home safe. Like, no question. That is one of the most beautiful stories of like you finding love and love, reconciling your heart. I think it's beautiful, and the healing that she finds in that. And I know that Andrew is screaming right now that Alien 3 ruins that story, and he's right. Sorry, Kyle. But yeah, I love that movie so much, and the thing I love about it is that maternal story and the even the head-to-head between the alien queen and Ripley, and that scene where she goes down to get her daughter back, and she like just threatens, like, I'm gonna like burn the eggs if you don't. And it's like, you give me my girl, you give me my kid, you keep your kids. And it's just like this standoff of two like alpha moms, and it's just, are you kidding me? There's one fictional character on the planet or off of it that I would prefer to watch my kids than Ripley.
I think this is an amazing pick. Good job.
Yeah, I've heard you guys sing praises for Aliens. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I just said so much.
I mean, I already, I knew she survived and everything, because I know there's Aliens 3. And I know you've talked about how she's like a really good mother. I think, Lou, you said they've done studies of that movie and things like that. I think we've talked about it a little in the past, but yeah.
I think so too. Yeah,
Dude, you should watch Aliens. It's so good.
it is so
What-
good.
what's
You
it
can
streaming
skip
on?
I will have the intern do it real quick. We can talk about something else while the intern does that, though, unless we have more to say about Ripley.
I mean, like I said, I've only seen the first one, and
Also-
I definitely wouldn't drop my kid off on that ship.
Yeah, Ripley also just a hardcore, like, she knows how to work the futuristic forklift robot machine thing. Like, she's got a work ethic. Also, just something awesome to have instilled in your kid, like some blue collar. We need more of that in this world. It's on Max.
Okay. I won't wait till next Mother's Day to watch it. All right, Lou, do you want to bring us around to number one?
I've recently been getting into the Harry Potter books, and
Which one are you on?
I'm still on the second one. I've slowed down a lot, but a character that I think is just jumped out at me that I think is just so much better in the book versus the movie, which I think they did okay in the movie too, and I think the character did that well. But Hermione Granger for me is just so much cooler for me in the books than the movies. I think she's
100%.
such a ride or die. It comes off way harder in the book than in the movie, and she's smart, she's strong, she's book smart, and she tries to follow the rules as best she can, but she has this like little bit of stevie-ness. I can't even say the word.
Deviousness? Yeah.
Yeah, the inner that I think honestly I would love my kid to have, because I don't know. I'm cool with my kid just like getting in trouble just like a little bit.
That's how you have a childhood.
Yeah, I would love for Hermione to kind of just, give that a little bit to my child, because I don't know if I will or not. Can't sing her praises anymore. I think it'd be an awesome babysitter for me.
That's a great pick. Yeah, Hermione's she's fantastic. She's not my pick, but my pick is from the Harry Potter books. So I love that. I was desperately trying to find the objection button. Then you said that, and I was like, oh, okay, good.
I don't think he's made it far enough to get to your character, where that character really
probably
shines.
not. Or at least not to fully understand the extent of how incredible she is.
I'm making a very easy assumption. I think that was Becca's very first thing when I told her the topic was that character.
No, yeah, we talked about it, and she was like, "Oh, it's Bleep," and I was like, 100%.
I was looking up like kindest characters, and Albus Dumbledore always popped up. I was like,
No, Albus Dumbledore's good, but
is he kind
he's not
though?
the number one choice.
He set a kid up to die.
I mean, yes and no. There was no choice. The kid had to die. We don't need to talk any more about this. Well, Lou, have you watched all the movies?
I watched it. Yeah, I know everything.
Okay, cool. Sorry, then we're good on spoilers there. Yeah, but even setting the kid up to die, he was like, I'm trying to do this in a way that is, I want this kid to live as much as he can, even though he has to die. Like, I think Albus did an incredible job recovering from a misspent youth and how much he let his own selfishness and what he wanted just destroyed the situation around him, and the way he recovered from that I think is incredible, and I think the person he becomes is admirable and somebody you can look to become. I wouldn't mind for a second if Albus Dumbledore was watching my kid, but still not my pick.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying I don't think he's the kindest. I think there's better options even in that world you could find.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm like halfway through that Dumbledore Grand Dumbledore conspiracy, so sitting pretty low right now.
Yeah, it's I can see both sides of that. That's fair.
I am shocked that one of the characters didn't get picked, but I'm not going to butt out my number one, but I definitely would have swapped out Ned Stark for Uncle Iroh if I knew no one was going to pick him. I just assumed he was going to be on everyone's list, so I left him off the list.
I can't believe that 2 weeks in a row I forgot about Uncle Iroh.
Oh my good. I'm just like, oh, he's going to be on Lou's and Mike's list. I'll try to think of something else. But anyways, my number one, he is the most Gary Sue / Giga Chad Christian in fictional history. My man's invented this thing called the Imagine Station, where you can live out some sort of augmented virtual reality. He is an ex-secret agent from what is implied to have been the CIA. He owns an ice cream shop, manages and produces and pays for a radio station and TV station, and he could teach the kids the Bible in engaging ways, and that is John Avery Whittaker from Adventures in Odyssey.
Fantastic choice, sir.
Like I said, I finished this list last night. I was drifting off to sleep, not in my perfect sleeping conditions, and I'm just like, John Avery Whittaker, number one. So I bumped down
Sat straight
Tim
up in
Althor.
bed.
Yep. And
Who's John A.V. Whitaker?
he's like the father figure from Adventures in Odyssey, which originally started as an audio drama in the 90s, 80s, 90s, something like that. They also made some cartoons, and I don't know if they ever made a movie, but I grew up on Adventures in Odyssey. I think we have the first 50 like audio, they're like albums, but stories. And as long as you're not asking him about applesauce or Dungeons and Dragons, he'll be a really cool guy to hang out with. The applesauce is a deep cut from Adventures in Odyssey, but they
I did not know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a deep cut. There's a long like villain arc they had one, but they made an episode, a 2-part episode. They called it Castles and Cauldrons and like the evils of role playing games. And they're like, okay, guys, whatever.
Yeah, it dropped in '87, so
yeah,
that tracks.
Yeah, they're like, roll the dice and slit your hand and spill the blood and everything. And for that, I'm like, oh, my mom's gonna think now that I have D&D books and I'm making sacrifices to Satan and everything like that. But no, that was a product of its time when D&D was part of the Satanic Scare. But man, I think obviously like he's like what any old Christian guy would inspire to be. Like I said, he's a Gary Sue. I don't even know if there's any flaws with him. He's set up to be like the answer to everyone. He always knows like the correct biblical answer and everything. So I think if you could spend a week at Wit's End, kids would love it, and my house would probably be boring when they come home.
I think I feel like I remember there being stories where Wit was imperfect. I think there's one where his grandson comes to stay, and his grandson's kind of a troubled kid, and Wit ends up, he has to apologize, and even at the end of the day, he handles being wrong the right way. But that's that's also a character trait of a steadily more bygone era of like, hey, we want characters that, like, now everyone's looking for the character with flaws that can grow into what you should want to be. But there was a time when it was like, hey, we want there to be some characters who are just aspirational.
Yeah.
And why am I doing this? Lou,
Wit.
You are aspirational.
Oh,
but
thank you so much.
Wit is definitely one of those aspirational characters where it's like, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of faults, but like he's also older, and I'm sure he was not perfect when he was a kid,
I'm pretty sure he's a World War II veteran or Cold War. He served in one of those. Like I said, the man's done it all. He does. I think it was probably his nephew or something. Because in my knowledge, Jason doesn't have a kid because he never got married. And seeing as it's a Christian family thing, they wouldn't. I don't think they would do that. But either way, John A.V. Whitaker is like the guy in my book.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's a great pick.
What do you listen to the audiobooks, or are you just
I started with the movies or the cartoons. They were on cassette, so I called them movies. And then for some random birthday, I got it was like a 10-pack of CDs in a big, multi-fold out thing. And then each one had like 3 episodes on it. And it took me a little while to adjust to Eugene not being there right away. And it's like the cast was a little different. And I was like, who's this Connie chick? I don't know about this. But
Connie was
I
before
absolutely
Eugene.
fell in love as a kid. But in the show, Eugene was there and Connie wasn't, at least in the ones I saw. And so I was like, what's going on? And then they brought in Eugene, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
all's right with the world.
I still will just get random moments and like audio clips in my head. Like I'll just call them back, like, whoa, that was a deep cut. And for a while there, I'm like, man, the reason I know, like a lot of people think I know a lot about the Bible is just because I only listened to Adventures in Odyssey growing up. I just heard a lot of stories that way.
Yeah, those are great. If there was a good, I'll have to look into it because that would be a great thing to just have on. I'm looking for a whole lot of new media that's just healthier to listen to and not gonna mess my brain up at all. It's like I got Harry Potter and The Chosen, and I'm like, these are good, but I'd like some variety at some point, I'm sure. So I'm trying to rebuild the arsenal.
I think there's a focus on the family streaming thing where you can and they have all the audio banks. So if you want to just get like a month and see, 'cause I don't know if they hold up. That'd be something interesting to see is how do they hold up?
Point. Yeah.
Because obviously like Castles and Cauldrons does not hold up nowadays. And there's probably some other things that were the common sentiment at the time. I'm surprised they didn't make a Harry Potter one with how anti-Harry Potter, how big that was, but or something along that Pari Hotter. I don't know.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Harry Hotter.
Harry Potter.
Well, Mike, what's your number one?
My number one is the greatest fictional mom of all time, Molly Weasley.
Such a better option than mine. Damn it.
Molly has, for my money, outside of the Bible, the greatest line of dialogue ever written. It brings tears to my eyes every time she says this, because I just aspire to be a parent who loves my child that ferociously. It's not my daughter, you bitch.
There it is.
It is one of the only like super legit swears in all of Harry Potter, and it is like when that moment comes and it's Bellatrix trying to kill her daughter, and she just steps in and outduels Voldemort's right hand and like kills her. Oh, it's the best. And even then, beyond that, it's like, dude, you look at her kids. She's got what, 7 kids, and Percy's the only one who sucks. And he comes back around. He has his like prodigal arc, but he realizes like, oh my gosh, my pride has gotten in the way of my family, and he comes back and is like, he's so humble, and he knows how to apologize, and like he just comes. It's beautiful. Every single one of her kids are awesome, and my favorite character in all of Harry Potter is Fred Weasley, and like just their interaction is so great because it's in a lot of ways so similar to, like I love Fred because he's me, like George is great, but he's a little more mellow, and he kind of holds Fred back, and Fred's got a little more bite, and Molly's got to come down hard on him all the time, and I was putting my mom through that her whole life. And yeah, just the way she's able to handle all these different kids and all these different personalities, and even things like she disagrees with Charlie and then Bill. She doesn't like Bill's hairstyle or his like the way he dresses, but like she doesn't actually like, outside of like, hey, you gotta get a haircut for the wedding. She doesn't try to force him to be something she isn't. She's accepting, but she's stern. She knows how to mold them, but she knows how to be hands off. She's ferociously loving. She's just everything you'd want in a parent.
But she won't buy Ron a new wand.
Well, she's also broke.
That is what I've
Jenny
got
one.
say.
Yeah, and yes, we did.
We've talked about this. Yeah.
Okay, and so we're on the Harry Potter kick. Why isn't Harry kind of distributing the wealth a little bit?
He's selfish.
Isn't he like
I've always wondered that.
rich as hell?
So
Yeah,
honestly, my understanding is that the Weasleys would not take it.
Ron would take it though.
If
Ron definitely would. Well, Ron
Fred
even
and
would
George
want.
would take it.
No, because so book 4, Harry tries to buy the omnioculars, and Ron's like, okay, like Ron doesn't like it. He's like, I'll pay you back. Like Ron doesn't want to take a handout from him either.
Well, maybe not
George
older Ron, but younger Ron's all about mooching off that candy.
By 14, he's already like, no. But even then, like Fred and George only take the money because he literally is like, I'm gonna throw it out and curse you if you don't. Like, I'm gonna attack you if you don't take this money, and I'm good.
Yeah, it seems like they established in book 1 that Harry's rich, but then they just never brought it up again.
Well, and it's also like, I think they do mention in book 3. No, it gets brought up multiple times throughout the books. But in book 3, it's he wants to buy the firebolt, but it's like, okay, I have a perfectly good Nimbus 2000, and I have to make this money last through all 7 years of school. Like there's this understanding that like, yeah, I have an insane amount of money, but I also have expenses for a long time to consider. So there is a bit of a budgeting element to be considered as well.
Never mind. I don't know the answer to that question. I was going to ask where Sirius got the money for a firebolt, but he probably just took it from his family's estate.
Yeah, he had.
I don't know why his accounts weren't frozen. Maybe they don't do that in the Wizarding world.
Yeah, he actually says that he had them take the money out of his vault, and I'm like, how did that get passed?
I know we have coming in from my mother-in-law. She has her own list she wanted to add to the pod.
Yeah, Rob's mother-in-law, lightning round. Number 5, we have TV Bruce Wayne, as portrayed by Adam West, which that's the one. Not a bad choice. He was a good guy.
Isn't he the one with like the weird like nipples on his costume?
That's Clooney.
Okay.
The bat nips, yeah.
That's my favorite for sure.
No, look him up. He's if you aren't familiar with the appearance of Adam West Batman,
it's an all cloth suit, right?
It's the all cloth suit. It was meant as like a comedy. And like people looking back, people have such a modern view on Batman, they don't understand that it was fun and campy. Solid pick.
I like his character from Very Odd Parents. Who is Adam West in Very Odd Parents? I don't remember.
And Mayor
Catman,
West in
Family Guy, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, in Family Guy, he's Mayor West. He plays himself a lot, actually. He never really. I don't think he ever got past that role. He's probably
Poor guy.
That's an easy paycheck, if I'm in my opinion.
right.
If you guys are looking for me to play myself, call my agent, which is me. So
I do not feel bad for people who are typecasted and make tons of money for the rest of their life. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Deal with it. People would kill for that. Number 4, Helen Parr, also known as Elastigirl.
okay.
I think 4 is an acceptable place for Elastigirl.
Becca had that
solid
one.
Mom.
That one too.
I think she could have done a better job. Like, I mean, marriage is hard, but like, depending on when in the story, I'd have different opinions. But overall, I think Helen's a really good mom. Number 3, Dr. Alan Grant, the main dude, doctor from Parks and
Rec.
Jurassic Park. Yeah.
I'm guessing she's cutting it off at 1. I don't think she's talking about any of the sequels.
No, and I'm pretty sure she's talking from the movie as well.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, he's a great, like, he doesn't want to be a father figure, but he falls in love with these kids and like does a great job protecting them, and very solid choice. No complaints.
I'm more of a
number 2,
Dr. Ian Malcolm fan myself, but you know.
Yeah, not somebody I want raising my kids.
He likes kids like he likes wives. You know, he's always looking for another. What he would say.
Number 2, we have Puddleglum.
Who?
From so he's a deep cut from. Oh, you wouldn't know. Puddleglum is a deep cut. Not even a deep cut. He's just from a later Chronicle of Narnia.
Is he the dwarf that makes the breakfast?
No, I'm trying to remember what his race is. They're a long, lanky, swamp-dwelling people.
Oh, from Avatar. Yeah, I get you.
And I actually am drawing a blank. I can't recall what his people are known as.
What's his name? I'll have the intern look it up.
Yeah, Puddleglum. He's kind of like Eeyore, if Eeyore was a person. Very gloomy, very like glass half empty, but he does a really great job being the adult in the room for the 2 kids in The Silver Chair, which is one of the better Narnia books, in my opinion.
I didn't know the Wiggles were from Narnia. He's a Marsh Wiggle.
Marsh Wiggle, that's right. Thank you.
Yes, Marshwiggle, for sure.
Of course. How do we forget?
And then number 1, Maria Cuthbert from Anne of Green Gables, who I'm taking her word on it, was a great parent.
Is that the grandma?
It's the person who adopts Anne. Like, Anne goes to live with this older couple, and it's Matthew and Maria Cuthbert. Yeah. And I think she also would have put Matthew on there pretty high, but she also was following the...
He didn't have the heart for it.
The one per series role.
That's the one thing I remember from the movies when my mom showed it to me as a kid. And the guy saying Carrot Top and her breaking the board over his head.
I don't remember any of that. I just remember that Matthew doesn't... he dies eventually, right?
I mean, he's old.
Yeah. He dies eventually for sure.
He's a farmer that had to work when he's an old man, so
yeah,
put 2 and 2 together. Honorable mentions, obviously for me, I'm surprised Uncle Iroh didn't make the list. I had Ben and Leslie Knope. I think they'd be a fun, especially if it was like once the triplets were out, that'd be a good one. Gandalf, obvious choice from Lord of the Rings. Then I also have Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad, but I wouldn't want to leave my kid there for an extended period of time. He's a really good grandpa, but if he's there, you know, he's going to be gone for a lot of time if you leave him there for a week because he's doing nefarious stuff. But he's definitely like, good to kids and make sure they're always protected.
That's solid. That's solid. I considered Hal from Malcolm in the Middle.
I thought about them. Yeah. But Lois was kind of
what know that I'd do
held me back.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not that Lois wasn't a bad mom. It's just that she's got very little support from Hal. And she's like, I understand why Lois is the way she is.
Yeah.
But I don't know that they're not in my top 5 picks, that's for sure. Lou, you got any?
I do, yeah, sorry. Today in this podcast, I learned that I grew up a lot different from you guys.
You just put that together?
Well, you know, yeah, kind of. But yeah, Kakashi Hatake, I think he was a great teacher. I think he'd be really good with my kid. Saitama from One Punch Man.
Okay. Yep. You teach him those crazy workouts, you know.
I teach you those crazy workouts, and I think he likes the game. He likes to chill too, and he likes to go shopping and cook stuff. So I think they'd be good. Edward Elric brothers. Yeah.
Colin?
Edward Elric.
Edward Cullen?
Nope.
Is that from Twilight? Right? That's his name.
That's from that's from Twilight. Nope. He is a alchemist, and he is a big brother, and he treats his little brother. He protects his little brother. And he's a funny guy, so I think that'd be cool.
Okay, here's a fun game. We can start picking franchises, and you have to pick from the franchise.
All right, it has to be one we all know. Star Wars.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'd go with Book Luke.
Ooh, Book Luke is a good choice, I assume.
What the is going on? What are we doing? Are we talking
You
about?
gotta pick a
Star Wars character
to raise your kid.
The raise or just the babysit?
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
babysit. Watch your kid. My fault.
Oh, Jar Jar Binks for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, the second I said, wait, just hang out, Jar Jar Binks immediately jumped into my head too, so mad respect.
All right, Lou, pick a franchise we all know.
A franchise we all know. Holy crap, putting me on the spot. What are franchises that we know?
Mike, you got one? I mean, when Lou's
Yeah,
thinking.
God.
Scooby-Doo.
I don't know it that much.
Uh,
Batman.
Nice.
the Globetrotters.
I did think about putting the Globetrotters from Futurama on my list.
I'm just gonna go with Scooby. I don't want any of those people watching my kid.
What about like Marvel? That's a fair.
Spider-Man comes to mind. Oh no, hold on. Aunt May and Uncle Ben.
That was a different universe,
Yeah.
Ben.
Well, that's just coming up in a couple years. Give it time.
Beck and I did throw around having Aunt May on there, but I'm like, if it's past, the Uncle Ben thing, she's always getting captured, and I'm like, I can't have my, can't have a kid there. But
right.
pre high school Peter Parker, that's a good pick. My first thought was Captain America, but I don't know about that one.
That's too patriotic for me. I'm just playing around. I'm gonna go with Thor.
All right, keep the train rolling. DC dibs on Superman.
Who do I know from? I don't know if Superman would be a good parent. I don't know.
I don't think he'd be a good parent, but I think he can handle watching my kid for an hour.
Wonder Woman
Or Crypto the super dog.
Wonder Woman's jank. She has worse morals.
I don't know. I don't want DC Batman.
You're right.
I would probably do Supergirl.
Oh,
Batgirl.
I would say yeah.
Pick Batgirl.
Batgirl. Yeah, definitely not Wonder Woman.
So I'm gonna take Crypto the super dog as my Scooby-Doo character because they recently did Scooby-Doo meets
crossover.
Crypto. Solid.
Oh, John Cena then for Scooby-Doo. Actually, I changed my answer.
John Cena was in
Hold on,
Scooby-Doo.
He's in Scooby-Doo. I haven't
What
seen it,
the
but I know
hell?
he is.
I think he might be in Scooby-Doo twice because there were two WWE crossover.
All right, Nintendo. I'm gonna go with Zelda. For a lot of the reasons why I chose other castle people. Actually, no, she's always getting kidnapped. Let's go with Ilya from Twilight Princess. Illa, whatever. Yeah.
If I
Go
pick
for it.
Kirby, is it gonna eat my child?
Maybe that's a possibility if he gets hungry.
He doesn't actually consume them, right?
Have you played?
Oh no,
Smash
he
Bros?
does. Never mind.
Or
Never
any
mind.
Kirby game?
Well, like he poops them out though, and they turn into stars.
Yeah,
Is
but
that the same?
you won't get your kid back.
Does Kirby have an anus? Does Kirby have an anus?
I don't know. I'm
Does
not.
he have a
got it.
sphincter? Damn it!
The Chozo.
Just Chozo.
Chozo.
The Chozo are the alien bird race that raised Samus after her parents were killed by Ripley.
Oh, I was guessing it'd be something with Metroid.
Nerd.
I just thought of an honorable
I've heard,
mention. Merv Cooper from Interstellar, the guy's daughter. Seemed like a good mom. She had a bunch of kids and everything. I think she'd be a good babysitter, especially
Also,
after they left.
Merlin. Yeah, Merlin from the Disney Sword in the Stone.
All right. I think because Mike threw a monkey wrench in my plans, not knowing a lot of music videos. So let's go with top 5 high school memories for the next week. We did a middle school one. Let's hit on high school. We'd like to thank you for listening. If you guys enjoyed this episode, if you're on YouTube, please give us a like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear your ideas about what topics to do, what icebreakers. If you have any comments on are our characters good picks for babysitting or not, let us know. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review, leave a comment, and we'll read it off on the pod. Other than that, hope you guys have a great week, and we'll catch you next time.
Adios, amigos and amigas.